Hi everyone, I'm Christine Murray, Marketing Manager at Delego. Just before we jump in, this webinar is being recorded for replay and on-demand purposes, and all attendees have been muted. Feel free to send us your questions using the chat window, and we'll answer them during our Q&A at the end of this presentation. So Delego and EVOB2B have come together in this webinar to help you integrate electronic payments securely into SAP and automate your entire order-to-cash process at the lowest overall cost. Our speakers today include Doug Fisher, Vice President of Sales, Jesse Jameson, Senior Solutions Engineer, as well as Tim Atkinson, Vice President at EVOB2B. We hope to leave you with some key takeaways today as we discuss why your potential customers may be abandoning their cart and how Delego can help you reduce payment friction, increase conversion, and boost sales with Delego Rapid Pay. Also, what are the considerations of building your own payment ecosystem versus using Delego Rapid Pay to not only speed your time to market, but also reduce PCI compliance risk and scope. Also, how you can streamline your order-to-cash process using Delego Rapid Pay on your web store. And finally, Tim at EVO will showcase how you can simplify and achieve significant payment processing savings using their platform, as well as provide samples of real-time reporting. So we have a lot to go through today, so Doug, take it away.
Great, thanks, Christine. Really appreciate being here today and speaking with fellow Delego employees as well as with Tim Atkinson at EVOB2B. The first thing we're going to talk a little bit about is payment friction. So before we get into that, I just want to make note that when we're looking at payment friction, traditionally we've looked at B2C companies that consumers are actually utilizing or accessing the web to pay for various goods. But what we've seen is that this isn't just a B2C problem in terms of the friction, it's also a B2B problem. And the reason for that is that many of our B2B, or traditional B2B clients actually act like a B2C client. So a good example that I like to give is one of our large clients actually sells to the dentist network, and those dentists prefer, in most cases, to pay by credit card in order to get points on their specific cards and different payment needs. So we are seeing more and more of the traditional B2C clients become more of a hybrid in a B2B. So this is relevant discussion for both sides of the coin here. So on this particular slide, what I want to go into is I'm going to talk a little bit about the payment friction that merchants, SAP merchants would have, as well as payment friction that our customers have. So on the merchant side, on the SAP side, we're going to discuss a little bit later sort of the implications of doing this yourself and the time it takes to actually build these payment methods, as well as what happens if you do decide to build it yourself. What are some of the revenue opportunities that are lost? And then on the customer side, we're going to look at the process of customers going through the checkout process, as well as the different options that we can provide for them to pay on their online platform or portal. Next slide, please. Okay, so merchants today, and our merchants are going through this process of looking at, is this something that they should build themselves? So there's a lot of considerations on what they need to look at when they're actually building this platform. So for example, we have a client today that introduced PayPal, or was trying to introduce PayPal, and it took them approximately 14 months to actually develop one single APM within their payment environment. And there's many reasons why it took them that long, but a lot of it had to do with they really didn't have the expertise in-house to manage and build these connectors, as well as they didn't understand, once they build it, what happens if there's actual changes to the APM or the APIs that they build. So there's a lot of effort needed in order to not only build them, but also to update them on a regular basis. So that's a couple of things to consider there. Next slide. Okay, so next we'll look at a little bit about payment friction for consumers. So this stat kind of just comes right out at you. So customers that actually want to purchase something actually put a product or service within their cart, and even though they went through that process, they then abandon the cart. And there's many reasons that this happens. The reasons that we're going to talk a little bit today are on the left-hand side here, noted in the light blue. So many times the site asks them to create an account, which again is more friction for the client, that they have to actually do that. They can't successfully check out as a guest. The process is just generally very long to actually do that. In addition to trusting the site, as well as I think, and this is also a big one, that they didn't offer enough payment methods for their clients, and people automatically abandon rate if they don't do that. A good example is myself with PayPal. If I find a site that I want to buy something and they don't have PayPal, I typically abandon, because that's the way that I like to purchase products and services. Next slide. So what's happening, in addition to the abandonment rate, traditional abandonment rates, we're seeing that as more and more customers and merchants are bringing out applications or mobile apps that can be utilized through a smartphone or a tablet, the abandonment rate actually increases quite significantly. A good example of this is, you're on your phone, you want to buy something. Do you really want to punch in your credit card number on your smartphone? I certainly don't. Having an alternative payment method available makes that process much easier. Next slide. So today we're going to talk a little bit about some technology that can help alleviate the friction for both merchants like you, as well as for your consumers. One of the things that we'll be going into in terms of the demonstration is looking at that specific technology, and in a few seconds Jesse's going to do a demo on that. But what we're basically going to show you is a new checkout technology that Delego has put together, which is going to alleviate a lot of those friction problems that our clients are having, both at the consumer level as well as at the SAP merchant level. Next slide. Okay, so again, through this technology integration, what we're able to do is look at some of the considerations if you did want to buy this. So we look at the other end of the scale for building considerations. Now you look at buy considerations. So what do you get when you actually buy something of this technology? Well, again, if we can get out these APMs as soon as possible, we can increase the revenue on your site and decrease conversion rates by adding more payment methods, by adding more more time to get these out in front of your clients. So us taking the burden of investing in creating the APMs as well as maintaining the APMs can dramatically reduce time to market to actually build these yourselves. So next slide, please. All right. So just to sum up, when we look at friction, we've looked at friction for merchants like you, considering build versus buy with the products and services that we're talking about here, increasing the conversion rate, which will ultimately add more revenue to your stream. And then for our customers or your customers, offering a easy way and a seamless way to actually purchase items will help with the friction, and adding more payment options such as digital wallets or alternative payment methods will help as well. Next slide. Okay, so as I promised, Jesse's going to do a quick demonstration on how technology can decrease the friction within your environment.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Doug. Great job. So I think the first thing I want to let you guys know is that the Delego Rapid Pay solution that we provide today also comes with a few tools to reduce friction from the implementation perspective. So things like a full SDK, very clear documentation, as well as some examples that are provided, make it very easy for the web development team to implement this onto the web store, brings that time to market down significantly. And so we've been able to identify and remove another kind of friction, which is that built friction within the process itself. So today I'm showing you this on an open cart demonstration website. The Delego Rapid Pay solution works on all different frameworks. It is not specific to a certain kind of requirement from a web store perspective. We've got this with Hybris as well as your Magentos of the world, and of course all of the homegrown different options. So the first thing I need to do today is add an item to my cart. So we'll pick my favorite couch there. And if we go to the very top and we drop down the cart, we actually see our Delego Rapid Pay solution for the first time right in the actual cart drop down itself. Should let you know, of course, it looks a little bit out of place in the black box right now, but that's because we want to show off our very fancy style editor, another piece that helps to reduce the friction from the web store implementation perspective, but we'll touch on that in just a minute. The other thing that you don't see here that I want to make you aware of is that Delego Rapid Pay also provides alternative payment methods like Apple Pay. Now, Apple Pay is a little bit of a different beast in the fact that it only displays when you're on either a Safari browser or an iOS device. And with that, you would also see the alternative payment method Apple Pay displayed here. Today I'm on a Windows device, so you do not. And what we'll do from this point is we'll actually go through a standard checkout process first, show you what a regular credit card flow would look like. We'll take you through one of those alternative payment method flows as well. And then from there, we can go ahead and show you what the actual style editor and the integration into SAP look like as well. But please bear with me as I type out my entire life history here. Sorry, I know it takes a little bit of time. It's one more friction that we'll show you how to reduce in just a moment though. There we go. We'll skip over the delivery address for now. We can jump right into the actual payment solution here. So what we see is the full version of Delego Rapid Pay. And with that, it provides for the ability to not only still select those alternative payment methods like Visa Checkout, PayPal, Alipay, Google Pay, and Amazon Pay, but we also have these additional drawers now, which is the standard credit card entry flow, as well as the bank payment. And if you haven't looked at bank payments for any of your B2B portals, I definitely recommend looking at the options like ACH for the North American market. It can significantly decrease some of those transaction costs for you as well. For now, though, we'll go ahead and enter in a standard credit card number. And I should mention, everything that's entered into the frame itself is actually within the Delego hosted solution, not the actual web store that we're displaying it on. So with that, at no point does any of the valued credit card data ever touch your web store. Only the devalued data is returned on a series of standardized callbacks. So effectively what we do is we make it so you only have to write to the Delego Rapid Pay solution. We write to all of the other APIs and behind that, we standardize those responses, and we bring them back to the web store in the same fashion. So if you're getting a payment load from Visa Checkout versus a MasterPass flow, the ideal solution is we've taken that, we put it into a single API, and we provided the same detail back on both solutions. So the last thing we can do here is we can hit the Confirm Order button. The Delego Rapid Pay solution actually allows for two pieces to happen when we click that button. First, we reach out to the Delego core. That reaches out to the EVO solution and provides us the authorization details. So now what we've done is we've reserved funds and we've made sure that that purchase is secured with an actual reservation on the credit card itself. We receive those authorization details directly back to the web store, devalued data only, of course. And then from there, we also have the ability to then call directly to our SAP system and create an order directly in the VAO1 system, which is what we see here with the order entry number at the top. Now I'm going to go through the standard or the alternative payment method flow as well, but I'll show you what one of those orders in SAP looks like in just a minute. So for now, what we'll do is we'll jump back to that front page and we'll grab one of my favorite couches yet again. This time though, we're going to go through a little bit of a light flow as far as the friction that we're going to run into here. And with that, we can go ahead and just select, for example, our Visa Checkout. From here, the user is presented with their familiar Visa Checkout login pages. In this case, I automatically sign in with mine. And we're presented with the credit cards that I have in my Visa Checkout wallet and what delivery address the user would like to return to the web store. When we hit the Continue button, Visa Checkout returns that data back to the Delego Rapid Pay solution. We, of course, tokenize the credit card portion of that detail, so again, still maintaining that web store out of PCI scope. And then from there, we also return that delivery address. So effectively what we've been able to do is return all of that in a standardized callback to the Delego Rapid Pay solution, and of course, back to your web store. And from there, with this, we can take the data that's provided and completely fill out the checkout process for the customer, reducing the additional friction of that address entry, selecting payment methods. All of that is taken care of, and the only thing the actual customer needs to do at this point is confirm the actual order itself. So before we do that, there is one other piece of the product that I really wanted to show off today. It's kind of my favorite part. So what we can do is we can select to change the credit card here, just to open up the full frame again. And so the Delego Rapid Pay solution also has what we refer to as the built-in style editor. Effectively, within the dev and the QA environments for all of our stand-ups, we provide you with a full point-and-click editor. Here you can select to import specific fonts, set your weights, sizing, as well as bold. And then from there, we can jump into the colors. So to start with Delego Rapid Pay, we offer either a dark or a light theme, which allows you to kind of set up the basic configuration. But of course, we recognize with all the major brands in the world, every single one of them has very specific brand requirements as far as colors and fonts. So of course, you can import all of that directly to the product. Something as simple as a brand color can be entered by selecting the color, setting our little custom on the right here, and then simply typing in your brand color in either hex, RGB, or RGBA. Here, what we're actually looking to do is you'll see that there's a white stripe, makes the iframe stand out and be a little bit ugly. I can hit this little Show Me the Changes button, and in a matter of seconds, you're going to see that white stripe disappear, and now we actually have a proper border around the frame, making it fit. So in a matter of seconds, we've gone from that ugly black box to an actual selection menu that makes sense and seems like it fits natively directly in the checkout flow itself. So from there, I want to confirm this order and show you just one more piece of the puzzle here. We're going to touch on that order confirmation. So effectively, like I mentioned earlier on, the Delego Rapid Pay solution can create an order directly into the VAO1 system. And then from there, we can actually show that order, work with it, pick, pack, and ship it, and of course, reach out for settlement directly from within the SAP system. We integrate all of the data into your SAP process and flow. So effectively, all of the accounting, GL entries, and everything you need to do from the entry of the order in the web store all the way through to the actual authorization and, of course, settlement process, all taken care of and accounted for directly in your SAP system. So I think today that was everything I wanted to touch on. Christine, if you wanted to take control back, I think we're good to go to the next steps.
All right, thank you, Jesse. For the next portion of our presentation, I'd like to introduce Tim Atkinson at EVOB2B.
Thank you, Christine. It's a pleasure to be on the call today with all of you. We're excited to be an integrated partner with Delego software, and would like to just accomplish today really 4 key insights to helping you navigate your payment acceptance and automation for your organization. And the first one is really focusing on the importance of working with a true merchant acquirer that understands global processing for you as an organization, especially in the SAP enterprise environment. That's very critical. 2 is we want to show you how you can accelerate cash flow, reduce that DSO, that daily sales outstanding, bringing that cash flow in quicker to your business, helping you grow more efficiently. And then 3rd, how to reduce that cost through integrated transactions, and what technology is available with this partnership between Delego and Evo to really capture the most cost-effective payment acceptance. And then 4thly is a lot around transparency. What are we doing from reporting capabilities, compliance, and really providing you the data to give you so you can make good decisions within your business. So as we start out here at the presentation, this question, what is the most cost-effective payment method? We find today in a lot of our conversations in the B2B space that the old traditional methods of accepting checks seem to be the most cost-effective way, but as technology has changes and we have provided solutions to help this, on the next slide, I'd like to give you some insight on a study that some of the top card brands have done through a third party that can really help us see how important it is that organizations, through the integration solutions, are promoting and accepting credit card payment acceptance, as it is very affordable, as you'll see in some of the points that we'll address here. Just on this study alone, they found out that taking a credit card payment is 37%, has a 37% lower loaded cost than your traditional payment collection methods. So where you were taking a check, that cost is around $10.11 per invoice from that order to cash cycle. So when you start to look at the cost of not only that entire cycle, what's the cost that you're also putting into really trying to chase that money and get that money in on your accounts receivable side, where you can actually have a much lower cost in accepting that via a B2B commercial card. And then on that second bullet point there, the order to cash cycle is shortened by 10 times. So if you are accepting via a card through our system, on average, you'll see that money within 3.8 days versus the traditional method of almost 38 days. On average, you're waiting to get that money in your bank. So it's speeding up and accelerating that cash flow for our clients. And then also by promoting and having payment acceptance from corporate cards, purchasing cards, ACH, the buyer themselves are increasing their purchasing volume if they know that their supplier accepts credit cards. And this is in the B2B space. So I first thought this was B2C, but this is actually a study on the B2B side. So if you're promoting and have the ability to accept payments, your customers are actually going to purchase more on average than they would if you did not. And then lastly, I thought when 55% of buyers are likely or very likely to choose you as a supplier if you accept credit cards versus not, is now we're starting to see the buying behaviors in the B2B space is much similar to the B2C space, and that we need to educate and provide our customers, especially with Delego and Evo in the SAP space, providing them the solutions to help them not only provide this for the customer, but do it in the most cost-effective way and helping them be most profitable for their organization. So on the next slide, I'd love to just walk you through, because a lot of people don't understand the breakdown of an anatomy of a transaction. And this is a great example. On a $100 purchase, on average, $2.50 of that transaction is going to go for the cost of running it in a corporate card environment. Only 30 cents of that on average is what we take EVO Payments B2B. The network fees, the card brands take like around 13 cents, but the majority, 80% or more of the cost of a transaction is the interchange fees, which everybody has to pay for. Well, the majority of processors today can only impact the top two buckets, the acquiring fees and the network fees. But in order to impact the interchange fees in the B2B space, you need to have special technology, which we have proprietary technology built to help automate the level 2 and level 3 data from those purchasing cards, corporate cards, travel, entertainment, fleet, to automate the data points to make sure that every transaction is coming through at the lowest cost possible. And that's a huge impact to the bottom line, which on the next slide, I can show you what that impact looks like from this example. So this is an exact example of a $20,000 transaction in the B2B market. If they did not have this interchange technology like EVO has with Delego, that normal processing interchange fee is going to be 2.95%. If you have the technology and you're automating that level 3 data, it'll be at 1.85%, but a large ticket that's over $7,000 will be as low as 1.45%. So just on this transaction alone, we've reduced the cost of that transaction by $300 and reduced the percentage points on interchange by 1.5%. So as you can see, when you start to add into the volume of transactions that a client does, this can really impact the bottom line. But also what's important is this is helping our customers in the SAP world to really want to promote and accept payments, because they can get the cash quicker and they can get it much more affordable than they have in the past by leveraging this technology that we have brought to the market. On the next slide, I wanted to share a case study. We have a great business partner called Drive Medical, and they're a great medical equipment company. And we came together with them and did an overview and an evaluation for them. And not only did we help improve the workflow and efficiencies for their organization, but by implementing this technology in our solutions, we were able to bring over $680,000 of annual savings to their bottom line, which is significant for their organization, because now that's improving profitability as well as efficiencies on all of their payment acceptance. And this has been a huge impact to their organization, and we continue to support that and manage that moving forward. On the next page, I'd like to kind of hit our fourth point of the day, and that's really around our transparency, compliance, and custom reporting. This is an image of your snapshot portal. We provide every customer a login portal where immediately we're going to show your PCI status. We work very closely with all of our clients to make sure that they're PCI compliant, and we provide industry news, security alerts to keep you fully up to date. And we pride ourselves in really providing and communicating at a high level to our customers. And on the next page, you will see some of the reporting capabilities. We provide, along that left-hand side, many different reports to help you in managing the data that you need. And beyond this, we work very closely with our customers to really understand their true needs, what's most important to them, what data points are needed. And we can even do custom reporting that automates on a daily basis, weekly, or monthly, specific to your needs. So that's something that we know in the B2B space after 17 years, that we need to treat each customer uniquely and make sure that we provide them the tools and the data and the reports that they need to make good decisions. And the last report page here, the next page, just gives you a couple of examples of enhanced reporting, interchange reporting, if you want to look at the interchange rates, what's happening. All of this data can be exported out in Excel spreadsheet and can be used amongst the teams that you have to make decisions and evaluate your business overall. So to kind of wrap up the key points that we have gone through on the next slide is EVOB2B with Delego is really committed to simplifying your payments around the globe. And being that we are one of the top 7 merchant acquirers, it's important that you really partner with an acquirer that understands the payment space and really can provide that global and international processing capabilities. And doing that through one solution with Delego and Evo is a real strong benefit, as well as cost savings overall. And on the accelerating cash flow, the real key on integrating payments, as well as the cost savings that we're able to deliver, in addition to the transparency and compliance and reporting, that value is being received by all of our clients. And we're excited as we wrap this up and go into Q&A, we'd love to invite you to engage with us to do an evaluation of your organization with our solutions to show you what impact and recommendations we can provide to you to help impact your bottom line. So there's some contact information there, both for Delego and EVOB2B, and we greatly appreciate your time today. Excited to connect with you in the future and seeing how we can work together as a partner in moving forward in this payment integrated space. So I'll give back to Christine for Q&A. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Tim, and thank you, Doug and Jesse. We're now going to answer some questions that have been submitted during the presentation. And as a reminder, you can still use your chat window to send us your question. So Jesse, this question came in during your demonstration. Is the customer experience different for each APM at the checkout process?
Oh, good question. So effectively with the Delego Rapid Pay solution, though the customer experience may differ slightly because the alternative payment method wants to kind of bring them along their own journey, the end result is that the Delego Rapid Pay solution brings them back to your specific flow and then standardizes that data set so the web store can follow a single flow, even though those alternative payment methods take you a little bit of a different route. So I think that answers the question, but the overall answer is that we try to standardize it as much as we can for you.
Great. And Tim, I actually have a couple of questions for you. One is, what are your recommendations on how we can improve payment acceptance, not only for e-commerce, but over the phone as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a couple of key things that I would say is important is to look at how you're training your team for that back office when they take that order and take the payment acceptance, that we're helping our clients promote the payment acceptance of credit card at that time to be able to achieve quicker cash flow and give them the tools, especially through the Delego solution with a point-to-point encrypted unit that they can key in the credit card right in the call center, and it allows it to be fully encrypted. So none of that is hitting the network or the system. So that's critically important. In addition to that is putting links within the invoices to be able to make payment right through the invoice, as well as sending them back to an invoice portal. All of those things can really help to improve the payment acceptance, and positioning the credit card payment acceptance on the front end, both in training and visibility, I think is key for, getting a lift on that payment acceptance. So.
All right, thanks, Tim. I do have another question for you. This gentleman said we've experienced with other processors telling us that we could save money but haven't seen anything. So how can you guarantee that they'll receive the savings specifically on level 2, 3?
Yeah, no, that question comes up a lot with the customers that we talk to, and that's where that it's critical for us from a transparency perspective that we're very upfront with our customers, because through developing this proprietary technology for interchange management, that's guaranteeing that particular interchange fee is going through at the lowest possible amount. And what we do to even support that and back it up is that we provide a 30, 60, and a 90-day review. So when you come on board, we're doing a review at 30, 60, 90 days to show you the impact that we told you you were going to receive, and really back that up and support it. And that's why we have a 96% retention rate, is because we focus so much on helping the customer, making sure they're receiving the savings that we told them they were going to receive. And then to even back that up even more from a confidence perspective is we do not include any liquidated damages or early termination fees into our contract. So we have an agreement, but our customers can get out of our agreement at any time. So what that means is we really stand behind what we say we're going to do, and we have to deliver on that in order to retain that business. And that instills a lot of confidence within our customers to really partner with us and continue to grow together as true partners. So
that's great, Tim. Those are all the questions that I have. So I want to thank our partner, Tim, at EVOB2B for partnering with us on this webinar. And again, thank you all for attending our educational session, and have yourselves a great day.
Thanks all.
Thank you.